Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Tuesday. I'm glad you're here. Today's Red Mic message, it's all about the choice you didn't make. There are a few phrases more comforting than this one. I didn't have a choice. Sometimes that's true. Life can hand us circumstances we didn't ask for, consequences we didn't earn, and problems we never saw coming. We don't always get to choose what happens to us, but far more often than we'd probably like to admit, we do have a choice. We just don't like the choices available. So we tell ourselves we don't have one. I can't leave. I can't say no. I can't have that conversation. I can't change direction. I can't forgive them. I can't admit I was wrong. I can't start over. I can't make that decision yet. Well, maybe. But sometimes I can't really means I don't want to pay the price that comes with choosing. And that's different because every choice has a price. Speak up and somebody might be angry. Stay quiet and you have to live with what happens. Walk away and you lose something. Stay and you may lose something else. Take the risk, you might fail. Play it safe, you may spend years wondering what might have happened. And that's one of the harder lessons to learn. Not choosing doesn't get you out of a decision. It just means that you've chosen the default. If you refuse to decide to stay or leave, you've chosen to stay another day. If you avoid the difficult conversation, you've chosen another day without resolution. If you don't apologize, you've chosen to let the distance remain. So if you don't change something that isn't working, you're also choosing to keep doing what you're doing. And if you keep waiting for perfect certainty before making the decision, you've chosen to let uncertainty make the decision for you. You got to take a chance every once in a while. And that's why responsibility matters so much. Responsibility is not pretending that we control everything, because we don't. It isn't blaming ourselves for every bad thing that happens, because that's nonsense. Responsibility is recognizing the part that still belongs to us, our response, our attitude, our willingness to act. A guy named Viktor Frankl wrote about this from circumstances far more horrific than almost all of us will ever experience. After surviving the Nazi concentration camps, he argued that even when nearly everything else has been taken away, there remains a fundamental human freedom, the ability to choose our attitude toward what confronts us. That's an extraordinary standard, and it's really uncomfortable, because if we have some ability to choose, then we also have some responsibility for what we choose next. You've heard me say this. I've spent more than 25 years in public service, 16 years coaching youth football and scouting, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete. And I've seen the same thing in government offices, locker rooms, organizations, family, and my personal life. People can spend an enormous amount of energy explaining why they can't do something. And sometimes, yes, those reasons are legitimate. But sometimes we're building an airtight case for staying exactly where we are. And I've done it too. We wait for someone else to change. We wait for better circumstances. We wait until we're less afraid. We wait until the decision becomes obvious. And then one day we realize waiting was a decision. Maybe there's something in your life right now you've been avoiding. A conversation, a relationship, a career decision, an apology, a boundary, a new beginning, or an ending. And sometimes you keep putting these things off because neither choice feels particularly good or wise. But don't ask yourself whether there's a painless option, because there's probably not. Ask yourself the harder question. What am I choosing by not choosing? Then ask another one. If I took responsibility for the part I actually control, what would I do next? That might be incredibly clear if you frame it that way in your brain. You don't have to solve your entire life this week. Just identify one decision you've been avoiding and then make it. Because small decisions have a funny way of becoming big changes. And sometimes the breakthrough isn't finally getting the perfect answer. It's just accepting that the answer is yours to choose. And that's today's Red Mic message. Hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you're able to use these things in place in your own life. I'd appreciate a like, a follow, and a share. I appreciate you for being here so very much. Hope you'll join me again tomorrow. Go out there today, knock the cover off the ball, make some hard decisions. I'll see you again. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon.